Hello guys, what is up? Here is another video from me. The last time I talked to you, I was stuck in a basement, riding out a heat wave and resting and recovering, trying to eat well, sleep well, but supremely so frustrated because I could not get out and run, which I love doing. It has both a physical and a mental effect on me where I start to gain weight and I start to mentally miss my runs. So, I can update you now. It's July now. Wow. The first half of 2026 that just flew by. And here we are, and it's July. People are going on summer vacation, and yeah, there's a relaxed attitude everywhere, and it's nice to see. In Denmark, the students are getting their hats on, so there's like a lot of noise, a lot of trucks driving by. It's a whole Danish thing, where when you graduate, you drive on a truck. Often you'll be very drunk, and you'll have crazy signs, and people will be dancing and partying, and there's like a whole disco going on in that truck. And then they drive that on the road publicly, yes, and then that's completely legal, although they're kind of getting a bit more tough on it now with the laws and the police. And they drive by, and every once in a while you might hear some dogs barking or this crazy bunch of students screaming or music. I don't know if you can hear that, but people are playing some really loud music this morning. Anyway, let me get my handy dandy notes here and get back to the video and back to the 10K. So, I am all about the comebacks. Basically, I've lost 3 weeks of my training plan. I was supposed to run the last 3 weeks, but I've not been able to due to different reasons, which you can revisit on my previous video. Heat waves, sickness, eye infections, I mean, you name it. Your boys got you covered. Old age, high cholesterol, triglycerides. I mean, I can go on and on, right? But I won't bore you with all that because I feel like it's an excuse. And this video is not to be, this channel is not about making excuses. It's about being realistic, but ultimately being positive. And that's something I wanted to also talk on like since last time. It may sound like I'm being negative or I'm being, overly conscientious that maybe I'm old or I have like high triglycerides. That's not the point. The point is not to be an optimist or pessimist, it's to be a realist. Because when you're a realist, at least I believe so, and this might be a bit philosophical, you can address your problems. Like if I have pain or if I have some problems, you don't just sweep it under a rug and say, oh, it'll be fine. Because this is a body, it's a machine. If you lie to yourself, the machine is not going to perform well, right? This is a machine. And if you input wrong data into the machine, the wrong results will come from that. Illness, it'll come injuries, you might not get the results that you want, or you might just get so put off by the whole experience that you'll say, you know what, screw exercise. I don't care anymore. I'm just going to get fat and watch Netflix. Kind of extreme example, but you know what I mean. So just to bear that in mind, this video and this channel is for positivity and growing yourself, but at the same time being grounded in real life problems and not just being a superstar genetic freak where, oh, let me run a marathon tomorrow, and oh, wow, I ran sub 3 hours. And it's like, that's not realistic at all. So, I was stuck in the basement. Now I have graduated to the ground floor because the heat wave has ended, thank God. It's sub 20 degrees Celsius in Denmark today, and boy, is it beautiful. I missed this weather. Wow, what a difference it makes. So, I have been running the last 2 days. Slow runs, so this is zone 2 to zone 3. For me, that's what I call zone 2 basically, but it's creeping up towards my zone 3. This is to get the body started. It's the start of a training block. My HRV is still tanking like around 30 to 40. My resting heart rate is still around 60, 65, which is quite high for me. Normally it's around 50 to 55. So I know my body's not 100%, and I don't know if it's because of the heat or because of my recovery period or what it is, but I'm just starting with some base training. So I ran yesterday, and I felt great actually. It was my pulse was staying low. So I don't know if you remember from the other video. Right after my 5K, the 10K calling half, I ran for the first time after like a couple of weeks or a week and a half, like properly, like base training, and I found my pulse was skyrocketing. I ran yesterday, the pulse was not skyrocketing, meaning my heart rate was staying at quite a reasonable level as compared to last time. Now this can be because it's been cooling down. It can also be because my body is getting more and more recovered. But what I've been finding myself doing is that as soon as my HRV is getting better, I'm feeling better, I go for a run. And I just can't help myself because I have to admit, like after 3 weeks of not running and just doing slow recovery runs every third, fourth day, it gets kind of boring, and I need running in my life. I need some kind of exercise or strength training, basketball, whatever you got, I want to get out there and do it because ultimately I know it's really, really great for me, especially if you're an overthinker or overanalyzer. Sports, exercise, strength training is beautiful for you. So my eyes, as you can see, are still beautiful. Eye doctor gave me drops. Eye infection gone. Fantastic. So what I did do was that when I ran yesterday, so this is getting a little bit more into the details of my training plan. So by the way, I use my Garmin Epix Pro. This is the old model, the Phoenix 7. Based on the B Phoenix 7, it's just with an AMOLED screen instead of an LCD or whatever they call MIP screen or whatever they call that. The base training has started already. So Garmin has started my training plan 3 weeks ago, basically. Garmin is very, very optimistic. Everyone who's a Garmin user and maybe a bit older knows this. Like Garmin is super aggressive. Like as soon as you stop a run or you just had a race, it's like, okay, time to exercise again after like 2-3 days. And that's not realistic for me. So I took 3 weeks off instead of 5 days or whatever it recommended, which is there's a huge difference, right? So you know me, I'm all about rest and recovery. So I think I played it smart and I rested and recovered, but now I'm reaching a point where I'm like, I have 6 or 7 weeks left to the race. Like I have to do something. And I adjusted my expectations. I don't want to put pressure on myself. Running is something fun. Sports and strength training is something fun. And why should I put pressure on myself? There's no one telling me I have to run under 70 minutes for 10K. I can run whatever I want to. So I'm going to be a bit lenient and be like, okay, I'm not going to necessarily go for a PB. I would like to run the same time that I did for the Calling Half, which was around 1 hour and 13 minutes, point something seconds. I think that would be a really, really cool target for me to do, just to prove to myself it was just like a one-time adrenaline rush or something I can repeat. And if I can shave some minutes off, some seconds off, hey, you know what? That's awesome. Considering I have not been training for the last 3 weeks and I only have 6 weeks left, that's a really, really positive sign. So that's how I choose to frame it. How you do not want to frame it is like, just to give an example, is like, oh my God, I didn't train the last 3 weeks. My life is ruined because now I can't reach my PB. And if I can't reach my PB, then what is my life worth? I mean, I'm just exaggerating here, right? It's not the right way to look at it. Like I explained last time, it's good to understand that your body, after a training segment, it has to have a recovery period where it maintains everything from your eyes to your face to your legs to your back, your hips. Everything is, and not to mention your organs, your body is not just healing your running adaptations. It's healing so many things. So it's cool to give the body 3 weeks to do that, especially if you've been training for a longer period. And the more you've been training, the longer recovery period you need. If you're younger, the recovery period is almost like days. If you're older, it can be days and weeks, right? So it's just to say that I feel great, actually. I feel like, wow, okay, I listened to my body. I waited. I can feel in my mind and my body, I'm like, okay, I'm actually ready to run because my legs are feeling great. My breathing, as I mentioned, is getting better. Ready to kick it off. So how does the training plan look? The training plan, I just realized these notes are completely useless. So I'm going at the top of my head here. So I excuse if there's any kind of like confusion or any kind of craziness that's happening. What I'm going for is basically running 4 times a week, where Monday is off. And then I run, let's say, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday I might take off, and then Friday I run. Like, it's like, and it's not very like set in stone. Like my Garmin watch makes a suggestion every day, and it knows on Monday I have to take rest, and maybe Thursday. So I have to have 2 rest days minimum, right? Sometimes 3. So basically I'll be running 2 easy runs a week. So that's base training. That's zone 2. For me, zone 2 is zone 3. 2 of those a day. 2 of those a week, sorry. And then I have 1 interval session. Interval meaning I go faster now. Lactate threshold, zone 3, zone 4. And then 1 training, which is a long run. So anyone who's familiar with running will recognize this is a very basic setup, and it's not very advanced, but it's also very, very fundamentally, I feel, correct. So this could, if you chop it down even further, you could say you do 1 base, like 1 zone 2 or zone 3 run, 1 interval session, and 1 long run. Each run has a very specific purpose, and it will make you an all-round runner, which is fantastic for a mid-distance like 10K. It might not necessarily work if you're running a different distance, like an ultra marathon or 42 kilometers or whatever. But for me, it's a really, really nice tried and true tested way of doing things. And if you're wondering how to make a training plan, there are so many free resources out there. I know Nike Watch has a free resource, Garmin has, but you have to buy the Garmin watch, which is really, really expensive. And let's not go down that rabbit hole. So there are different ways to get it. You can get it online. You can ask here on the YouTube channel, like how to get a nice, let's say a 5K or a 10K training plan. It's actually really cool to make that, and you can customize it to your own needs. And if you get it offline, you get a basic template, but I'd recommend tweaking it, adjusting it according to your age and what you want to do and what your time is. Like one of my friends wrote that he wants to run a sub 20-minute 5K. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's really realistic for him. He's a young guy. He's a strong guy. He's been strength training all his life. He knows about, macros, protein, health, lifestyle. He has a good chance of breaking that. So let's talk about it. Let's make a training plan. Sure, I'm all for it. And again, I'm no expert. I don't know, I'm not a physiologist. I'm not a running coach. But yeah, I would say I know a little bit about it. And it would be totally fun and awesome to make a 5K. But let's stick to the basics. Any plan you have, any ambition of running, the easy run, what do you call easy run, zone 2 to zone 3 run, the interval training, and the long run. So now I've repeated that 3 times. So hopefully, I don't know if you guys are catching that, but here goes those crazy students. That's so cool. Yeah, those 3 runs, those 3 runs. Woo! My God, I can see them from here. I don't know if they can see me though. So those 3 runs are your bread and butter. Those are like, I don't know how to put an analogy, but this is the foundation of what you're gonna do basically. If you skip on any one of them, you will not run to your best, according to my experience and my understanding of running anyway. And you're welcome to challenge that and discuss that if you want to. So my plan is, like I told you, 4 times a week, I have 2 easy runs, 1 interval, 1 long, and that gets changed. So what happens is that I run that for 1 training block. Let's say I have 6 weeks left, right? So I have 3 weeks where I do that. Then I take some days off, because when you run 4 times a week, you get a lot of fatigue. You need to relax your body again. Your HRV will it'll go down, your resting heart rate will go up. You feel tired, you get sick, maybe you'll get some, viral thing or something. So you have to take a break, at least I do. And my break, it's mostly, wow, they're just going ham over there. Sorry, it's really distracting. So most of my break in between the training sessions is determined by how I feel. I just go by feel. And normally I'd say 4 or 5 days, I just take off running completely, or I just go cross training on a bike. After that break, I then convert my 2 easy runs into, I would call it more like 1 easy run a week. And then that second easy run becomes like, it changes into not interval session, but like a harder base train, we're approaching zone 3 now, because I know I can push myself now. I still maintain the interval session. That becomes maybe even a sprint session. Sprinting is let's say 6 times 15 seconds, like you sprint 6 times with, let's say 2 or 3 minutes break, depending on how old you are and how much you can take. And then I always maintain the long run. So there's always a base, like an easy run, and always a long run in that training. And wow, that is super loud. So it's just to give you like a basic structure. Like if you're interested in running, or you want to have more structure in your run, just figure out. And remember, it doesn't have to be I'm counting on a week, because all I do is run. I don't strength train. I don't do sports, although I do play basketball once in a while. So you can also make a week 10 days long, right? So if you run every 4th or 5th day, you can be like, okay, I ran easy run last time. I'm going to run easy run this time. But the next time I can run an interval session. So interval session is where you run, let's say 3 times at a faster pace, and you have breaks in between those, like let's say 1 or 2 minutes of jogging or whatever, depending on your skill and your level of running. So interval sessions are key for 5Ks, 10Ks, marathons, everything, especially if you want to get faster, if you want to set a PB. And I'll go into this, when there's not so much noise outside, and when I've prepared a bit more on it. But I'm super excited, guys. I'm finally outside running. and the music is bumping, the students are having fun, and I'm just like, thank God the weather is good again. There's so many nice things going on, so I'm feeling super pumped. And I think the result of this is because I've been waiting so long to be able to run. Like, I've been so patient, and I think that pays off now. So past self, thank you very much for waiting to get healthy, to get ready to go into max overdrive now. 6 weeks coming up, I'm just gonna kick it into overdrive. I'm gonna give everything I have to the training, because now I know I'm more and more ready. And although my body's not 100%, because like I said, my HRV is still a bit low as what it normally is. It's like between 30 and 40, and ideally should be between 40 and 50. I feel good. Like when I analyze my body, like my weird viral infection, it's gone down. I can see that my eye infection is getting much better, and I feel stronger, like just generally speaking. So yeah. Let's do this 10K Hamburg. I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna cancel it. I'm gonna do it, even if I don't get to train that much. No matter what's gonna happen, I owe it to myself to do it. Also because I've been YouTubing it now. Also because I owe it to myself. I already paid the ticket. There's no refund. It's like everything is pointing to direction. You know what? Just go for it. See what happens. The worst thing that can happen, and again, this is important to remember. So what if you don't get a PB? What's the worst thing that can happen? Okay, I go to the race, and maybe I don't make the time, or I don't qualify, or I don't end the race because maybe I got injured, or maybe I couldn't make a good time. Yeah, but I can recover from that. An injury I can recover from. If I get a slow time, I can just go again. So just remember to have that in mind. What do you have to lose even though you have not had an optimal training block? I can answer you right now, absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's no eyes on me, there's no cameras on me, there's only myself looking at myself. And I'll say, you know what? Give yourself some time and just chill and just do the best you can. Life happens, and I'm not an athlete, I'm not an Olympian, doing the best that I can. And I feel confident. I'm like, okay, I got 6 weeks to crack this. Let's go. And I hope you feel the same way. Have an excellent day, guys. Go there, work out, train, do your strength training. Just give it your 100%, especially if you're well rested and recovered. If not, get recovered and then go for it. Have a great day, guys. And regards from this loud blasting music.